السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم هو خير خلق الله وخاتم رسل الله. اللهم جازه عنا خير ما جازيت نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن دعوته ورسالته. I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his last prophet and messenger. My brothers and sisters, we'll talk today about the calamity that's been happening for the past year and years before, what's happening in Gaza and in Palestine, and what we can do specifically about it as Muslims. What's our obligation? What's our commitment that we can commit to what we can do in this? What's been happening in the past year was not a secret. We all saw it on TV. It's been happening. It's probably the first war that we see a lot of destruction, bombing, killing, maiming, shooting. And the people who are doing this are happy doing it. You've all have seen the soldiers are shooting, people playing, kids playing, and they're celebrating what's happening. And they're happy with what's been happening. People said that yes, you can kill all of these people. It is said from the government, that yes, these are cockroaches, could be killed. So they don't care for these people. It is sad that people are seeing this, and in this country, politicians are seeing it, and they don't give it, they give a lip service. Stop this, let's stop, and they don't, and they keep supporting the people, or supporting the aggressors with money and power, firepower, giving them billions of dollars. What can we do about this? What can we do when our brothers and sisters there, they say, we're staying there. They're trying to get them out. They're trying to kick them out from Gaza. And the people in Gaza, they say, even after 40,000, more than 40,000 people killed, they're saying, we're not moving. We're not going anywhere. They tried to push them to this side. They tried to push them, go to Egypt, go to Jordan, go to Lebanon, go to Saudi, go to any of the other countries. As a matter of fact, I remember one person years ago, he said, just get these Palestinians. There are 22 Arab countries. Put the Palestinians there. Why don't the Arabs take it? Why don't the Arabs take these people? Why they have to be there? And it didn't just stop. The United Nations, and they have maps of where they should be going, where we should be going next. And they did bomb not just Gaza, they bombed other countries. They bombed Lebanon, they bombed Syria. Now they're getting into attacking other countries, and we don't know where it's going to end. We don't know where this is going to end. What can we do about it? We have, I think we had here a few months ago, one of our brothers, a doctor, who went there to Gaza and showed the kids and the babies who are dead. They don't have arms, the malnutrition. The situation is miserable for our brothers and sisters there. But they're saying, we are not going to move. They're standing fast. They're saying, that's our country. This is our place. We're not going anywhere. You're not going to push us out. What can we do here to help this? This is what we're going to try to find out together. This is not one person or two or three, as we will talk about. It needs all of us to come together and think, what can we do? The easy thing for us that we cannot do, not the easy, it's not easy, is to make dua. And that's not easy to make dua. We do it once, twice, we forget about it and just go on our business. How can we do this? This is not, I don't have a prescription for this. But we need, as we will talk about, brothers and sisters, to get together and find out what we can do as a community, as individuals and as a community. When we say when we see what's been mentioned in the Quran, Prophet Musa, alayhi wa ala nabiyyina salatu wassalam, قال إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي. And he said at the end, when his people said to him, فَذَهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَا إِنَّا هَاهُنَا قَاعِدُونَ. We will not go. They will not follow their prophet. What can we do? The Quran says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَنَصَرُوا أولئك بعضهم أولياء بعض بعضهم أولياء بعض والذين آمنوا ولم يهاجروا ما لكم من ولايتهم من شيء حتى يهاجروا وإن استنصروكم في الدين فعليكم النصر وإن استنصروكم في الدين فعليكم النصر إلا على into those who believed, immigrated and strived with their wealth and lives in the cause of Allah. Here it's talking about the people who left from Mecca to Medina, as well as those who gave them shelter. These are the Ansar in Medina. They are truly guardians of one another. They are guardians, the word in the Quran, guardians to one another. They guard one another. As for those who believed but didn't immigrate, you have no obligation to them until they immigrate. There is no immigration here. This is again talking about the particular group of Muslims who were in Mecca. But if they seek your help against persecution in faith, it is your obligation to help them. It is your obligation to help them. That's clear cut in the Quran. Except against people that you are bound with a treaty with them. Allah is all seeing of what you do. So, Nasrat Akhwak al-Muslim, Nasr Ikhwanina al-Muslimin, supporting them with everything we can is an obligation. What can we do? Before we get into this, we have to also keep in mind ما يقول سبحانه وتعالى ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها إن ذلك على الله يسير لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم والله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. No calamity or a blessing. The word in the Quran, musiba, could be a bad thing or a good thing. No calamity occurs on earth, on yourselves, without it being written in a record before we bring it into being. This is certainly easy for Allah. We let you know this so you neither grieve over what you have missed, nor boast over what He has granted you, what Allah has granted you. For Allah does not like those who are arrogant, boastful. And the other verse in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. How do we make nusra to Allah? It is Allah. If you support Allah, how do we support Allah? Allah needs our support? Of course not. But we can support Allah by supporting al-haq, Al-Haqq is a name of Allah. The truth. Support the truth. It's a name, one of the 90 names of Allah. Al-Adl, by supporting Al-Adl, by supporting Al-Rahmah, by supporting Al-Afw. So Al-Haqq, we stand to say that this is wrong. We stand for Al-Haqq. It doesn't matter what's going to happen to us. What's going to happen? And then Allah knows that this is what will happen to us has been written before He brought us to being. So we have to stand. We shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be afraid if we stand and we talk. And what are they going to do to me? What they're going to do to me in my work? What they're going to do to me in my business? What they're going to stop coming to the business? So what? They're going to fire us? So what? But Al-Haqq, you support Al-Haqq. Allah is Al-Haqq. You support Al-Adl, justice, and Al-Rahmah. Have Rahmah on Ikhwanina. Have Rahmah and mercy on our brothers and sisters there. So, the things that we can do, Ad-Du'a. It's number one. Ad-Du'a silahul mu'min. And this is what we should always have, continuous dua. When we make dua for ourselves and our families and our community, we make dua for our brothers and sisters that are being bombarded, killed, maimed over there. That's a dua. And a dua is a very powerful weapon. Very powerful weapon. If we do it when we, at night, in the middle of the night, or at Fajr, or at any time, that we just spend a couple of minutes, talk to Allah, to have mercy on our brothers and sisters and support them. The next thing, that's the dua. The next one, دعم المالي والمعنوي. We support by our effort, by our money that we give and we spend and we give it to them. So we have, alhamdulillah, we have many places and many organizations, Muslim organizations that are working. And we have one here, we have whichever one you want to go to. There is Islamic Relief, there is Zakat Foundation here. There are many organizations that are working. And they don't take anything from our donation that we do. It goes directly there. And I know that some people pay for any expenses are paid by others, but the donation that it goes directly to where it's supposed to go. So anybody who can help, that's the money, giving the money. Support the organizations who work in the political field, like CARE, Council of Islamic Relations, and American Islamic Relations. We are supposed to connect with the government, with the people in government. And even if we know that they're not going to listen to us because the pressure from the other side is humongous, we don't stand a chance. But we do. If we say we're doing this for Allah and we believe in what we're doing, so we need to support our political organizations. And the next one, the third, is to talk to other people in the community. Spread awareness about what's happening to our brothers and sisters, about the whole calamity that happened throughout the years. We have to be a voice for the truth, voice for justice. This is Nusratullah. This is how we Nansurullah. Allah yansuru man yansuru. So if we do that, Allah will support us. And we need to also, when we connect with people, we don't say that these are bad people, these are halal. No. Even in da'wah, that we are told, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. Not just that. وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. Invite to the way of your Lord, and this is one of the way of your Lord is to support our brothers and sisters. Invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and kind advice. Only debate with them in the best manner. Surely your Lord alone knows best who has strayed from his way and who is rightly guided. So when we talk to people, we don't argue and we shout on them and you such and such and you such and such. No, we don't do that. حكمتي والموعظة الحسنة. Hikmah meaning that we know where we start. What is this? What's our community? We need to understand قضيتنا. What's our cause? Why we're talking about this? Or why we're saying that this is wrong? And we do it in the best manners. Always the Muslim talks in the best manner. حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس المؤمن بفاحش ولا بذيء بلا سباب ولا لعان ولا فاحش ولا بذيء. Muslim doesn't say any bad words, does not say any bad words, and doesn't say any bad thing that would offend others. That's what the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم told us. The last thing, number 4, talked about 4 things, is الصبر والثبات. We follow the examples of our brothers and sisters. They teach us lessons. They teach us a lot of lessons by their stand. We take examples from those who are suffering the siege and the destruction and the killing and the maiming, and they say what? Alhamdulillah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That's what they say. They can, of course, they can weep and they can cry, and they have in their heart a place in their heart for their people or for their kids who were killed. But they're always patient. I never say anything against the injunction of what Allah says. And at the end, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. So we all know that. So whoever is mindful of Allah and will take away from them, Allah will provide for sources that they never imagined, that Allah can show us something that we never imagined that can happen, and we ask Allah to do that. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. What can we do? We talk generally about things. We talk generally about what we can do in general, connect with people, talk to them, make dua, send money. What can we do here in this masjid, in this community? What can we do? The one thing before I start with the things that we should do, we should stop, my brothers and sisters, the negative talk. Or just passing the buck, as we say, you see our politicians, you see our rulers, al-hukam al-khawana, al-hukama, whatever it is, whenever something comes, we hear about our rulers who are not good, who are rulers, the kings, presidents, prime ministers, whoever, these are all bad. So we have 54 countries in the world, Muslim countries. And the first thing we say, look at this ruler, look at this ruler, look at this thing. What the saying here in this country, if you point a finger to somebody you know what happens? There are 3 fingers pointing to you. So before you point a finger to somebody, look at the other 3 fingers. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why do I care about this president, this king, this emir? I don't care about them. This is between them and Allah. That's their job. But sometimes we give ourselves comfort. Oh, it's our rulers, it's this and this, they're taking money. And then we say, oh, okay. And then we go about our own business. No. That's not what Allah is telling us. Everyone is responsible. We're not, all of these people will stand individually in front of Allah. Allah will just take care of them. But there are many other things we don't know, all of these, and we know that our countries, all of our countries are under pressure because we are weak. And this is not the time to say why we are weak. Again, it's very simple answer, because we are away from the Quran and Sunnah. Okay, that's good. But we don't go beyond that. We are away from the Quran and Sunnah. Our hukam is khawana. All of these things. And what do we individually do? This is an obligation. Allah will ask every one of us, what did you do? He's not going to ask you about the brother sitting next to you. He's going to ask you about yourselves, about your own self. So, we need, first thing, to have a clean heart. Before I would do something, we have to have a sound, clear heart. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Take away from your heart the animosity, the discomfort with your brother or sister. Because we're not going to do this. If I have this, I will not be able to go to the next level. Now, one thing that's that we can do, specifically do, and in this country that counts very much, is voting. And we had we're having people to go to vote, to register to vote. And again, I would understand it's not a good government, what we want to do. Let's not get out of excuses. See, do it. What Allah? Oh Allah, I did this. Oh Allah, I cleaned my heart. Oh Allah, I made dua. Oh Allah, I went to vote. Or Allah, whatever it is that you can do individually. Don't just make it a blanket. This is wrong, this is wrong, and do that. So the voting, why the voting is important? Why register to vote is important? Because in this country, even we are more or less the same as the other people who are attacking us, same number, but they have a lot more, and we all know that. They have a lot more power, they have a lot more influence on what happens in this country. So we need to, and voting is one important thing. They would say, and it is said, Muslims don't vote. It is said, because for whatever reason, we are negative. The negative, oh, that's not going to happen. Ya akhi, go and just go put your vote in, and Allah will do it. وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. Go and do your part. Don't worry, you're going to go to vote, and you're going to get if there is somebody who are good with or can understand our cause, I can vote for him. They're not going to support us all, but at least do your part. Let's every one of us do their part. If you don't vote in this country, you don't count. And we need Muslims to count. We need Muslims to count. Register to vote, and vote for whoever you want to vote to, but go and vote. They will know, because the politicians here in this country, they care about 2 things. We all know them: money and votes. They all need money and they all need votes. So you don't want to give them money, that's fine. But they also will be looking for your vote. They're looking for what you care for what we care for as a community, and they will come. And people ask to come here to this masjid and talk. And yes, they will come. You might agree with them, you might not, but at least they would be coming. If we don't count, they're not going to come. Why they waste their time with us? So this is important that we do. So also what I would ask for is that, as I said, none of us have a right solution. None of us have a panacea for what we should be doing. or what's the... So I would ask for many of the brothers and sisters here who can, let's get together and talk about that. It's not, of course, this is not the place to talk about it in the khutbah, but let's set up a time and see, come up with ideas. You might have an idea that nobody else thought about and would be a great idea, and let's do that. But at least we work together, connect together, and stand as one body. Stand as one body, as Muslims, not everyone doing their own thing. One of the things that I'll give you an example of what could be done, and that was mentioned before here. There are people who are standing on Erie Boulevard and East Genesee, the corner of East Erie Boulevard and East Genesee. Started with two people. Two people. They are not Muslims. They have nothing to do with Islam. They know very little about Islam. But they stand, and they, for about more than 12 years, or 14 years even, they're standing every single week. Every single week, you would see them. You might see two people standing there with signs against what's happening in Palestine, against what's happening in Gaza, against Israel directly. And how many of us go? Most of who go there are non-Muslims. So some people supporting our cause, and we don't support our cause. Yeah, you would say, what am I going to do? Oh, you go something and go home. You can stand in front of Allah and you say, Allah, I stayed there for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. That counts. Rather than not staying at home and doing nothing. And you would go, and people would see cars passing by, and they honk their horn, supporting. And if you want to see that, you really want to go and see it. Happens every Friday from 4 until 4:30 or 4:45. So you can stand. If you have half an hour, go as if you're standing and fighting. You can try to do this. I'm not saying that you should go, but consider going. Consider going there. Because this is, again, one of the things that when we go to Allah, we say, oh Allah, that's all what I could have done. And you can also do whatever other things we can do. So this is what we're asking. I'm sure many of us here, brothers and sisters, have good ideas. What can we do? Let's come together and find a time so we can all come and talk about it and see, get your ideas that could be, nobody ever thought about it, it could be the best one, inshallah. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم كن لأهلنا بغزة عونا ونصيرا. اللهم بدل خوفهم أمنا. اللهم احرسهم بعينك التي لا تنام. اللهم اجعل لأهل غزة النصرة والعزة والغلبة والقوة والهيبة. اللهم انصر أهل غزة وثبت أقدامهم. اللهم انصر إخواننا في غزة وفي فلسطين وفي اليمن وسوريا وإيران وكل بلاد المسلمين والمسلمين المستضعفين في كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم خفف عنهم واجبر كسرهم واشف مرضاهم وتقبل شهداءهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نستودعك بيت المقدس وأهل القدس وكل فلسطين. اللهم نصرك الذي وعدتنا. اللهم إنا لا نملك إلا الدعاء فيا رب لا ترد لنا دعاء ولا تخيب لنا رجاء وأنت أرحم الراحمين. اللهم رد إلينا فلسطين والمسجد الأقصى ردا جميلا. اللهم انصر ضعفهم فإنهم ليس لك إلا سواك وليس لنا إلا سواك وليس لنا إلا رب سواك يا أرحم الراحمين. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى